This is Dave Daly with NewportOregonTV.com. We're here today at a Cubs fan's home after winning the World Series. Everybody, this is Terry Heyden. She may live here, but her blood is blue. And Terry, for our audiences, give us some history of you sitting in Wrigley Field as a young girl with your dad.
Well, I grew up outside of Chicago, about 20 miles outside of Chicago, and my parents were divorced at that time, so our big treat was to go down to the city, meet my dad at the train station, then take the L over to Clark and Addison to Wrigley Field. He had seats for us, and we would go in probably 1967 season that summer and go and meticulously watch the game. He taught me how to score. He taught me about the game. He taught me to love the Cubs.
And the emotion of watching that game tonight, share with us, describe as best you can.
Well, it started with the Giants series, and then we moved to the Dodgers series, and I'm married to a Dodger fan, and he jumped ship and came over to the Cubs. We got through those two series, and when we got into the World Series, it was just a matter of each game. And I had a little checkoff sheet downstairs on the coffee table, and as soon as we would win, then we lost a couple. And somebody had predicted it would go into extra innings in Game 7, which it did.
Wow. Total emotion, total thinking of your dad. Just,
yeah,
speechless, I bet.
And my nephew, who is a big Cubs fan, and the whole family, I went back in April to a game, and the whole family went, and my nephew and I, we just sat there, and he's like, we'll do this for Grandpa, and I was doing it for my dad. And we were texting throughout the entire game. My poor nephew was just biting his nails, and we were going through every emotion, and it was just really exciting, because I had a connection with him being thousands of miles away, having a good connection with my nephew, just...
Spiritually, you were in the same room.
Yeah.
I mean, you had that sentiment, and as all Cub fans around the world are just embracing something that has not happened in people's lifetime. Your dad, Cubs fan his whole life, never experienced what we experienced last night.
He Cubs fans are diehard. We just keep going, like all the songs say, like Eddie Vedder's song that's now going viral. We're going to stand by him, and it's going to be good for Chicago. I just got off the phone with a friend of mine who called and said, this is going to be good for Chicago. The positive is going to be, and the young guns they have now, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning.
It is. And, share with us some memorabilia. Ernie Banks is Mr. Cubs. He's looking down with pride.
Yeah, well,
blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, during the game, I kept Ernie's. I have a autograph signed hat by
Ernie. There. Wow.
It says Ernie Banks, Mr. Cub. Kept it on the shelf, and there was 2 grand slams in this whole history of these games, and I just looked up at the hat and said, "Okay, Ernie, this, come on, you got to make this happen." Yeah. So he did, and then I was gifted with this ball about a year ago from a friend who found it in the bottom of a drawer. They were cleaning out and said, "Oh, Terry's a Cub fan." It is signed by the 1958 Cubs team, and there's Ernie. I really don't recognize a lot of the names. I have a book over there I could go back and reference, but Ernie is right on. There's Ernie.
I'm going to show the camera.
Yeah.
Right there, everybody.
There's Ernie.
The real deal, Ernie Banks.
Yep.
The legend, Mr. Cub.
Mr. Cub. So that was my era, and I have just enjoyed him. I grew apart a little bit in the 80s because family and work and all that, and I moved out away from Chicago. Yeah. But we got to get some Cubs fans on the coast here.
Well, we're here at Salichan. There are Cubs banners, everybody, over the balcony.
Yeah.
As I was golfing today, I looked up, and now I'm here because I had to interview Terry because, sports are such a part of our lives.
Yeah.
And we're in Lincoln City. We're thousands of miles away, but this is a great experience. This is what makes living in Lincoln City a wonderful thing, is we're fans of all kinds of sports towns. We don't have an NFL team or an MLB team here, but it's those memories. Your dad, you feel like a little girl right now in that stadium, smelling the popcorn. Right. Smelling that field.
I get one hot dog, And he would make me, as soon as there was a play, he'd say, okay, what numbers were those? And he had beautiful handwriting. And I wish to this day I had one of his score sheets because he had meticulous handwriting, and he taught me the game and taught me to love the game. And you're hearing those stories throughout this whole series, how the Cubs, it's the dads and the grandfathers and the great-grandfathers, and the kids are coming up and they're Cubs fans. And I have a great nephew now that will be a Cub fan.
Wow.
We have one Sox fan in our and Sox and Cubs,
Yeah.
the North Siders, South Siders don't mix
They
real
don't.
well. They don't, yeah.
But comment below, everybody. Give a well-wish statement to Terry and her now converted Dodger fan husband, who's a Cub fan. But let's rally around this wonderful story, this lifelong legacy of this family for their love of the Cubs. And
Don't get me crying
it's
again.
just an honor. But stop Terry. She gives back to our community. She does Meals on Wheels. Wonderful family that makes up the tapestry of Lincoln City. So thanks for talking with me,
Thank
Terry.
you.
Really appreciate
Good
it.
shot on the 9th, by the way.
Yep. I drove it. We actually went to the back tees, and I crushed it down the middle. Okay, so thanks for talking with us, Terry. Everyone here in Newport, comment below about what it means to you, what this Cubs win. You're all a family if you're a Cubs loyalist, and Terry's probably way high up there, but comment below. Thanks for watching. Share this video. For more great stories here in Newport, visit newportoregantv.com. Thank you.